You're watching Keys Cruisers on the Keys411.com. Hi, I'm Mark San Martin, and this is my 1967 Chevrolet Camaro. So when did I become a car guy? I'd say probably my whole life. I remember as a kid, I always had all the Matchbox cars and I always had all the hot rod ones, you know, all the muscle car ones. Those are the ones I liked the most. We grew up a little bit on the poor side of town when I was a kid. And actually my first car was a 1976 Dodge Duster, Plymouth Duster. And my aunt had it and she didn't want it anymore, so she gave it to me. I was 16 and grew up in New Jersey. In New Jersey, you can't drive till you're 17. So the car never really left the driveway, but I put a lot of miles on it in that driveway. It had a 6-cylinder automatic. It was a horrible, ugly car. Everybody knows what those things were. And I would do anything I could do to figure out how to get the tires to spin. And I figured out that you could pour bleach on the tires and then power brake it, and you could get the back tires to break loose, or at least one of them, and you could have a huge smoke show in your driveway. So I had my little 6-cylinder screaming in the driveway for about 30 feet, back and forward, and trying to figure out how to get it to smoke the tires. We did a lot of neutral drops. So if you remember what that is, you know, you kind of put it in neutral, you hold it to the floor, and bam, you slam it into gear. We did that probably as many times as it let us until the transmission went bye-bye. But that was my first car, and like I said, it never even left the driveway on the road. But after that, it's always been some kind of hot rod or another. Had a 64 Nova Super Sport, had another 67 Camaro. Just a lot of cool cars. I had 78 Firebirds, kind of Smokey and the Bandit style. A little bit of everything. Just always into them. I'm a mechanical guy, so you know I could relate to them. Always easy to work on, and we made do with what we had. The reason we're here today was really to talk about my 67 Camaro. I've probably had it now for about 12 years. It was a California car, born in California, lived in California its whole life. I found it on the internet, and it was unfortunately the product of a divorce. It was the only thing the guy wanted to keep in his divorce, so of course she made sure she kept it, and she beat it up pretty good. When I got it, she had taken a frying pan to it, busted out all the glass, dented it up one side and down the other. It came out from California on an enclosed trailer, but it was in rough shape, but it had really good bones. Somebody had already swapped it out. It was a 6-cylinder automatic on the tree. Actually, it was a 3 on the tree to begin with, and they had swapped it to a V8. Older 350, nothing fancy. But once I got it, I went to work on it, and little by little, starting at the front, we converted the standard headlight system into the Rally Sport headlight with the hideaway headlights in there. Swapped the motor out. I've got a 383 stroker motor. It's pushing about 515 horsepower on the dyno. We recently upgraded the carburetor, the fuel system to fuel injection, the Holley fuel injection system, the Sniper, MSD ignition, and we just kept going from there. It had drum manual brakes. We swapped them out to power disc. It had manual steering. We swapped it out to power, you know, beefed up the cooling system, pretty much all of it, you know, from the front back. And then when we got to the inside, same thing. We ripped the carpet out. You know, we put the Dynamat in there, new carpet, repainted the dash, custom gauges. I couldn't find gauges that I really liked in a factory setup, so we fabbed them up, so they came out really cool. Shifter, didn't have a console, new seats, the whole kit and caboodle from here in, glass, tinted windows, all of that. And then back here we refinished the trunk. We did the tail lights. We've got strobe tail lights in there for a little bit of an extra safety feature. We've got exhaust cutouts on it, electric cutouts, so we can flip the switch and go from Flowmasters to open headers, and at the flip of a switch. So it's a nice rounded out car. It's a good street driver. The stance is lowered a little bit. We've got coilover springs in it. And we've got as big of tires as we could get on there without tubbing it. I really wanted to go a little bit bigger, but I had to stop at cutting up the inside of the car, because I've got kids and I've got a family and I want to have a back seat, and it is the family cruiser. You know, we can jump in this, we can go to IHOP and have breakfast, and that's kind of the point of the car, to enjoy it. So I've lived here now in Marathon for just over 30 years, and you know, people think about the Keys and you see the commercials and you see boating and you see fishing and diving, and we've got lots of that stuff, and it's great because there's no place like it. But we've got a huge car culture here too. The Home Depot, the local state parks, and a couple of different private individuals put on car shows probably 6 or 8 times a year. There's car clubs throughout the Keys. There's a Lower Keys one and a Middle Keys one. It's a real diverse group. Everything from the real old. We've got, you know, there are guys with cars from the 20s and cars like mine and muscle cars. We've got the foreign cars, and then even the newer ones. We've got one guy who's got a Roush Mustang that's it's all tricked out. The thing's signed by Roush. It's a show winner all the time as well. So if you are coming down to the Keys and there's some way that you could bring your hot rod with you, you definitely won't be out of place here. You're going to enjoy the weather. If it's a convertible or if you don't have AC, it works just as well. You come down here, ride around, and you'll be surprised how many buddies you meet up with just being in the industry.